Okay, getting set up here. I'll hang on for just a moment as I see more people join in. If you have friends who are looking for it, just remind them to hit the discussions button on the event, and that will show them the video. And I can see you. Hey Emily, how's it going? All right, hi Sandra, good to see you. Hi Deb. Hi Sue. Always good to have you in yoga class, Sue. Glad we can still do this. Who else is out there? Give me a thumbs up. Hey Four Seasons. Hi Cassandra, good morning. Natalie, hey. Of course, when you replay this, you just get past some of this stuff, okay? Just forward just a little bit. Hi, Matt. Always good to have you. You're always right here next to me. That's good. Hi, Laurel. Francesco, my Sicilian friend. How are you doing, buddy? Lisa, good to have you. Jenny, saw you in Pio as well. Good to have you this morning. All right, hi Tammy. Oh, see Tammy's usually right here. Matt's over here, Tammy's over there. And if you see a random leg pop up, that's my wife. She's over here on the side of the place. Okay. All right. Very nice. I'm going to go ahead and dim my lights to begin with, okay? So you may see it get a little bit darker in here, but I'll bring them back up as we start moving a little bit more. I just want to start us off that way, okay? So we're going to get started right now. If you have my playlist, okay, I shared a playlist. It's playlist number 40. If you have Apple Music and you're my friend on there, find playlist number 40, or I put a link in the comments. It's playlist number 40. Go ahead and start that right now. It's time to do some yoga. Here we go. Well, that didn't dim as much as I wanted it to, but that's okay. That's okay. All right, let's go ahead and start our practice. Let's find a comfortable spot. Let's find a comfortable spot on our mats. I'm so grateful for all of you being here today. I'm so grateful for the opportunity to share this practice with each and every one of you. It's the best yoga community out there, and it's just such a pleasure for me to be able to share this practice and be in this practice with each and every one of you. As we begin our practice, if it's comfortable, go ahead and close your eyes. And just allow yourself to settle in. Allow yourself to settle in. Okay? We'll start just discovering our inhales and our exhales. Just start noticing our breath. And as we do that, we'll look to deepen that breath just a little bit more as we breathe in and out and try to just lengthen into the full capacity of our lungs. Now we can do that in and out through our nose or mouth, whatever's the most comfortable for you today. Allowing ourselves to begin smoothing out that breath. I don't know if you're anything like me, my breath has been a little bit turbulent over the past couple days. And so just by starting to focus on it a little bit, by starting to concentrate on our breath a little bit, that helps us to start controlling how that turbulence is happening, not only through our breath, but throughout our body. So we'll continue to breathe in and out. And of course, yoga begins. It's rooted from the breath. And then everything else we do with yoga, we apply the breath to it. So we use this deep breath in our postures, We use this deep breath as we move, and it'll guide our pace, and it'll guide what we feel. But feeling in yoga is much more than just postures, just much more than the asanas that we get into and how we physically pace our bodies. Of course, the physical postures are important. They help us concentrate on something and give us some focus. And while we're focusing on that, perhaps we're setting some other things aside. And that's good. That breath also helps us feel what's going on in our minds. It also helps us feel what's going on through our emotions. And so as we reach in and begin to feel a little bit more of what's on our minds and what's going on through our emotions, let's just take note of it. There's a lot on our minds right now. And there's a bunch of things racing in and out of our minds. And that's okay. Yoga's not going to stop that, okay? But what yoga does is allows us to be aware of that. And then, the value of being aware is maybe we can do something about it at a later time. But today we're just going to move our bodies. We're just going to move our bodies. One thing we could do is just turn our minds to something a little bit different. Maybe create a choice. We can choose gratitude. We can choose joy. We can choose peace, hope, or goodness. As we know, there's all of those in our day right now. Because if we don't choose those, then the things that surround us, perhaps it's the people, perhaps it's the events, they will make the choice for us. So the opportunity is ours right now. What are we choosing? What disposition are we choosing for ourselves? Think about something you're grateful for right now. It could be big or small. Another choice is to try and feel inner peace. Inner peace begins the moment that we choose to not allow events, things outside of us to control what's going on inside of us. So choose inner peace. We'll continue our practice in a seated position. I'm going to turn the lights up just a little bit. Actually, I'm going to leave them right where they're at. It looks pretty good. Okay? And I'm going to scoot back onto my mat just a little bit more. So from this seated position, we're going to focus a little bit more on the breath, a little pranayama. And I'm sharing this breath because it's a really important breath to help mitigate anxiety and mitigate stress. We've done it several times in class. It's called a 4-7-8 breath. And 4-7-8 is the cadence of the breath. We'll do a 4 count of an inhale through our nose or mouth. We'll hold that breath at the top of that inhale for 7 counts, and then an 8 count exhale through our nose or mouth, whatever's most comfortable for you. That cadence is relative to you. So we'll breathe in, 4 count, and then hold. And then exhale for that 8 count, nice and long and slow. Now, if you have a history of any heart conditions or anything like that, of course, just breathe in and out. Don't do the hold. And then just continue to do that. Let's do that 4 more times. Inhale, and then hold at the top. Lengthen that spine, sit tall. And then exhale, soften the belly. Let those shoulders roll down and away from our ears. And just at your own pace. Just at your own pace. I'm going to do it with you. That is 4-7-8 breath. It's one that's used by therapists. They call it mindful breathing or mindfulness. We call it pranayama. But it's been proven to help mitigate stress and anxiety. Do we feel already a little bit more calm? Do we we feel already a little bit more at peace? Is our body softening a little bit more? Is that breath still turbulent, or is it free-flowing? One last time. Very nice. Let's go back to that deep inhale and exhale, nose or mouth. And begin just rocking in a circle nice and gently. Eyes closed or open, however you want it to be. We're just moving our bodies today now. Giving us something to concentrate on. Giving us something to focus on. This is called self-care. And what we're doing for ourselves is compassion. I'll go ahead and switch directions. Not only for ourselves, but for those that are around us. Oftentimes, self-care is misconstrued as selfish. There's nothing selfish about taking care of ourselves. Because we know that when we take care of ourselves, we can be better for those around us and those that we love. Let's bring our hands to heart center and come to stillness. And with a big, deep inhale, fan those arms up nice and tall. And exhale and bring those hands right back to heart center. 4 more times on that at your own pace. Again, that breath is guiding our pace as we reach through those fingertips and reach nice and tall. Lengthen that spine, engage that core a little bit, and then reach those fingertips as high as they'll go. As you connect movement and breath. Connect movement and breath. Let the breath guide the way. Remember, yoga is rooted in the breath, and then everything else we do, we apply the breath to, and then we make it yoga. One more time. Inhale nice and tall. And exhale. With our right hand only. Let's take that left hand, grab onto our shin, right hand, and then sweep that right hand up for a side bend and sweep it through, circle on the exhale. And let's do that 4 more times. Inhale. And exhale. Again, we're just reaching through those shoulders, those ribs, down to our hips. One last time. Inhale and exhale. And then we'll inhale and keep that right hand up toward the sky. Hold it right there. And press those hips to the right side of the room. If you want a little bit more, take that left hand and grab onto the right wrist. Maybe palm facing towards me. And give a little bit more of a stretch. Just a little nudge, a little pressure with that left hand to just reach in a little bit more. Take a big inhale while we're here. Feel those ribs expand, and then release that right hand down. With that left hand now, inhale it up nice and tall, and sweep it through. And we'll do 4 more just like that. So inhale, and exhale, bring it through. Listen to that breath. Feel that breath. Make this your practice today. Good. One last time, inhale that left hand up, hold it up. Hold it up and keep it right there. Press our hips like we're trying to set them on the wall to the left side. With that right hand if you want. Just a little bit extra nudge. Stretch through the shoulders, down through those ribs, and those hips. Lengthen your body. And breathe. Very nice. Good, exhale, release. And we're going to come on to our hands and knees. Okay, so if this bothers your knees, you can get a little pad or even a couch cushion or roll up your mat just a little bit just to get a little bit relief on that mat. Actually, I'm going to turn my lights up just a little bit. Okay, so from our hands and our knees, make sure those shoulders are right above those hands and those hips are right above those knees, okay? And then dig those hands in a little bit so that the center of your palms lift up off your mat. That's strong hands. It's called Hasta Bandha, and it's good to create strength on our hands and our wrists and our forearms. Let's start rocking in circles. Let's start rocking in circles. Bringing those hips a little bit closer to those heels. Okay, and those shoulders in front of those fingertips as we rock forward. Okay, maybe there's not a good way to connect movement and breath here, and that's fine. But we don't abandon that deep breath, we just stay with it. Go ahead and rock in the other direction. Rock in the other direction. There we go. Okay, all right. So we're moving, just loosening up through those hips, loosening up those knees, pressing those hands in and warming up those arms. As we come to stillness, we're going to go right into cat and cow. And so from here, we're going to inhale as we look up and bring our tailbone up toward the sky. And then we're going to exhale as we look down and round our spine, bringing our tailbone down. And we're going to flow through that using our breath. Inhale up as we look up, and then exhale as we bring that tailbone down. Go ahead and give me 3 more just like that, and move at your own pace. As we come to stillness with cats and cows, we're going to move into spinal balance. Spinal balance. So still engaging our shoulders and hips toward the ground. Take our right hand and reach it forward, and our left leg and press it back. Good. Make your body as long as you can. From those right fingertips to your heel or your toes, it doesn't matter. Either way, just lengthen your body and keep those shoulders and hips as long as you can. Take a nice big inhale here. And on the exhale, control that descent. Bring those hands and knees down. Left hand forward, right heel back, thumb up toward the sky, and reach as long as you can. Make that body as long as you can. Good. Exhale and bring it down. Let's flow through this now. Inhale as we reach right hand, left heel. Exhale as we bring it down. Inhale as we bring that left hand and right heel. Exhale as we bring it down, and flow through this. Trying to maintain the squareness with our mat. Try to avoid rocking side to side into those hips. Stay as square as you can. That means we're engaging our core. We're engaging our core as we reach and lengthen. And as we're comfortable with that length of our body, then lift those thumbs a little bit higher, drive those heels up a little bit more, and feel the connection from your shoulders into your lower back and glutes. The next time we find that right hand forward and left heel back, let's hold it right there. And then we're going to tap that left knee with our right hand. Exhale. And inhale and reach back forward. It's called sunbird. Exhale. And inhale, reach forward. Good. 2 more. Exhale. And inhale, lengthen your body. And then exhale and inhale. Good. Set the right and left down. Left hand, right heel back. Hold, square up. And then exhale as we tap. Left hand, right knee. Inhale as we reach and extend. Exhale and inhale. Again, we're moving at the pace of your breath. Let it guide your pace. All right. As we come to stillness here, still on all fours, take that left leg and shoot it straight out to the side, depending on where you're at. Watch the furniture. Don't kick your water over. Don't kick your neighbor. Okay, and then we're just going to come up, shoulder over hip, over knee, right hand up toward the sky, side bend. Reach as far as you can. Okay, keep that left foot on the ground, and maybe we feel a little stretch on the inside of that leg, but we feel a lot of stretch on that right side, through our shoulders, through our hips, and down toward that knee. And if you want a little extra, again, nudge that hand with the left hand. Just grab onto the wrist and just a gentle nudge, okay? Take a nice big inhale here, then we're going to exhale, bring that right hand down towards the ground, and that left hand up toward the sky, kneeling side plank. That's engaging our core right here on our side, okay? And then once it's comfortable for you, you can reach that top hand overhead, bicep to our ear, and lengthen that body as much as you can. And then we're going to go just a little bit more with it if you want. We're going to take that left foot, bring it up off the ground, and we're either going to hold it right there or put a bend in that knee and take that left hand and reach back onto that left ankle and grab on and then press the ankle into the hand. Trying to make a straight line from your shoulder through to your hip to your knee, pressing your hips towards me. Exhale and release. Very nice. Same thing other side. Same thing other side. So right foot comes out to the side. Let's stand tall, shoulder over hip, over knee, left side. Left hand reaches up nice and high. Hips press to the left side of the room, and then stretch the side of your body out. Again, maybe feeling something on the inside of our right leg. Even I forgot the breath. So let's come back to the breath if you forgot the breath. Big, deep breath. Feel those lungs expand. Good. And on our next exhale, we'll bring that left hand down to the ground and that right hand up toward the sky. And if it's comfortable, right bicep to the ear, reach overhead, create so much length in our bodies. And if we want just a little bit more, that right foot comes up off the ground, we can hold it right there. And then we can bind onto that foot. So grab onto the ankle or top of our foot. Okay, you saw me cheat. I brought my knee way up here and I brought it forward, okay? That's fine, okay? Do what works for you. Press the ankle into the hand, hip opener, heart opener, and create a straight line from your shoulder through to your hip and to your knee. Whew. All right. Exhale and come back to all fours. And just for a moment, child's pose. Just for a moment, child's pose. Okay, this allows us to reconnect back with our breath. Allows us to reconnect back with our intention. Allows us to take a moment just to settle in and just think about how do we feel right now? How do we feel right now? Just think about the emotion that's on your mind right here, right now. I got 3 postures I'm going to share with us that help to interact with our nervous system. Gets us into more of a restful state versus an active or fight or flight state. And we're not going to do this pose, but I'm just going to show you it since I'm right here. From child's pose, you just lay down on the ground. You just lay down on the ground face down. And this one, that particular pose, just stay there for about 10 minutes, and it's scientifically proven to reset the nervous system. That's one that's used a lot with anxiety and stress. We'll get into a couple others as we get into it a little bit more, and I'll point those out. Okay. All right, from child's pose, let's find high plank. Let's find high plank. So from child's pose, we're going to curl our toes. We're going to spread those fingers out, and we're going to find the highest of high planks. Good. And from this high plank, we'll just make our body as long as we can, as strong as we can. So we're still digging in those hands. The center of our palms are lifting up, shoulders over those wrists, or even slightly in front of those fingertips. We curl our toes, and then create a straight line from our ears to our shoulders, through to our hips, knees, and heels. You can also be on your knees as an option. Now, without moving our hands at all, we're going to lift our hips up toward the sky, bring our ears between our biceps, downward facing dog. And we're going to spend a little time right here. Begin by just pedaling our feet to stretch those calves and heels and arches. Good. And I am going to put the lights up just a little bit more. And I'm going to move just a little forward. Sorry about that. Should have put my butt towards the camera. But you guys were in down dog, so you didn't see that anyway. Okay. All right. From down dog, let's step those feet forward towards the front of our mats. And inhale nice and tall. Reach as high as we can. Keeping those hands up there. Take that right hand down and just bring it down to our sides and lean over. So we're reaching with the left hand as high as we can, and we're lengthening the left side of our body. Again, trying to press our hips to the left side of the room. Again, if you need a little bit of nudge, we're just really stretching out that left side right here. Just get a little nudge with that hand. All right. Good. And then same thing, other side. Inhale back to center. Exhale, left hand down. Reach the right and get that side bend. And then if you need a little bit of nudge, just use that hand. Press those hips. Weight your body into that right foot. Feel it a little bit more. Good. Both hands up nice and tall. Inhale and then exhale and forward fold. Exhale and forward fold. Nice long spine as we come down, long legs, soft bend in the knees. Come on down, and then we just find whatever down means to us right here, whether our hands are on our legs, whether those hands are on that block if you have one nearby, or a couch cushion, whether they're on a little kid next there. You can use whatever you want to support your hands, and just allow yourself to settle into this forward fold. As we settle in, we allow the crown of our head to fall. We allow our shoulders to relax. We allow our jaw and face to relax, create space between your teeth, and just calm down. This is the second of 3 poses that is just awesome for managing anxiety, for interacting with our nervous system to get us back to a restful state. If you're just not feeling it, okay, if you're just not feeling it, or you're just having a moment, okay, just do this and just hang there. You can interlock those arms. Just let those arms hang down, okay? So from here, we're going to move into Windmill Pose. Staying right here in forward fold. Our right hand is going to walk right in front of our left foot. Place a deep bend in that right knee and float that left hand up toward the sky. Okay? Now this might be our first opportunity to connect with our breath in a pose and determine whether that pose or whether that breath is constrained or not. We always want to try to keep that breath free flowing. So if that breath is not free flowing, we lift a little bit higher. We use that block, we use that leg, we use whatever, that couch cushion, and we find the free-flowing nature of the breath. Let's exhale that left hand down, walk that left hand in front of that right foot, deep bend in our left knee, inhale the right hand up toward the sky. You can also keep it right on your hip if it bothers your shoulders. Very nice. On the exhale, there we go. Bend those knees and sweep those hands nice and tall. Reversing that swan dive. Exhale to heart center. All right, I got several variations of Sun A's that we're going to do. I don't know my full audience that's out there, so I want to provide some options. Okay, so we'll start right here. We're going to inhale up nice and tall, just a plank to down dog. Exhale and forward fold as we come on down. Inhale up to a flat back, draping those hands across those shins, resting below our knees, long spine right here. As we exhale, set those hands down, step those feet back, high plank, and then exhale right back to downward dog. Ears between those arms, strong hands. And then we'll inhale as we step forward, sink into those legs and sweep those hands nice and tall. Exhale right back to heart center. Let's do that again, one more. Inhale and exhale and fall. Inhale up to flat back and exhale, hands down, step back. Take a nice big inhale and then exhale, press back downward facing dog. Inhale as we step. We can even hop forward and sink into those legs and sweep it up nice and tall. Let's add a runner's lunge here. Listen for the legs. Listen for the legs. Inhale up and exhale and forward fold. Inhale up to flat back. Exhale, step the left leg back only. Right leg forward. Runner's lunge. Take an inhale and then exhale. Press back to downward dog. On the inhale, we step forward. Left foot, right foot. Sink into those legs. Exhale and sweep up nice and tall. Right back to heart center. Let's do that again. Other side. Inhale up. Exhale and fold. Inhale up, flat back. This time right foot steps back, left foot forward. Take a nice big inhale here, and then exhale, step back, downward dog. On the inhale, step right foot forward, then left foot forward. Exhale, bend in those knees, and sweep up nice and tall, right back to heart center. We're going to add a twisted low lunge now. Inhale up, exhale, fold on down. Inhale up, flat back. Exhale, left foot back only, right foot forward. On our next inhale, we reach that right hand up nice and high up to the sky. Exhale, set that hand down with that same exhale. Press back to downward dog. Inhale, left and right feet. All right, exhale, bend those to the knees and sweep those hands nice and tall. Right back to heart center. Again, other side. Inhale up and exhale and fold. Inhale up to flat back and exhale, step back, right foot only. On our next inhale, left hand reaches up nice and tall. Exhale, press back to downward dog. There we go. On the inhale, we step or hop forward, sink into those legs, and sweep up nice and tall. Exhale to heart center, stay there for a moment. Okay, if not being on the ground's not your thing, just do an inhale and fold. Okay? All right, full on sunset with the chaturanga or push up. Inhale, shoot the hands up. Exhale, fold on down. Inhale, up, flat back. Exhale, set those hands down, step back to high plank position. From plank, we're going to inhale and rock forward, then make a choice. Either stay on our toes or come down to our knees to do a half push-up or chaturanga. On the inhale, we look up, and if we're on our knees, that's cobra. And if we're on the shoelace side of our feet, legs up, that's upward facing dog. Then we exhale and press back to downward facing dog. Ears between those arms, hips nice and high. On the inhale, step or hop forward. Sink into those legs and sweep up nice and tall, exhaling to heart center. Let's do about 4 more of those. Inhale up. Now again, you don't have to do these. You do any one of the variations I've already shared. Inhale up, flat back. Exhale, hands down, step back to plank. Inhale, rock forward. Exhale, half push up. Inhale, look up. Exhale, press back, downward facing dog. On the inhale, step or hop forward, sink into those legs, and sweep up nice and tall. Exhale to heart center. Inhale, reach. Exhale, fold. Inhale, up, flat back, and exhale, bring it on back. Good. Inhale, rocking forward. Exhale, come down. Inhale, lift our crown. Exhale, face back down. Inhale, step or hop forward. Sink into those legs. And inhale, nice and tall. Right back to heart center. 3 more. Inhale up. And exhale down. Inhale, up, flat back. And exhale, bring it on back. Inhale, rock forward. Exhale, little chaturanga or not. We can always go right from plank position to down dog like we did earlier, right? Inhale as we step or hop forward. Sweep those hands nice and tall. Right back to heart center. We're moving, we're moving. Inhale, reach. And exhale, fall. Inhale up, flat back. And exhale, come on back. We inhale on that rock forward. That protects our shoulders. That's why we do it. Exhale down. Inhale, lift our head nice and high. Exhale, tailbone to the sky. Inhale as we step forward or hop forward. Sweep in or sink in those legs. Sweep those hands nice and tall. Exhale, heart center. 1 more time. Uno Masana. That is Spanish. That is Sanskrit. I am multilingual. Exhale down. Inhale up. Flat back. Exhale, hands down. Step back. Rock forward. Exhale, come down. Inhale, look up. And exhale, press back. Down dog. We're probably heated up right now. Let's set those knees down. A little bit wider. Feet a little bit more narrow. Hips to heels, child's pose. Hips to heels, child's pose. Breathe in deep. Catch that breath. Very nice. Reconnecting back with that breath. Just checking in. Good time to do a little sip. From here, let's walk both hands toward the right corner of our mats. Keeping the hips on the heels, angled child's pose. And just press our hips to the left side of the room, reaching into those ribs and those hips. And then we can walk those hands to center. And then walk both hands to the left corner of our mats, hips to heels. Angled child's pose. And from here, we're going to begin lifting up, and we have some clearance to bring our right leg around to the front of our mats. Okay, and we can keep that back knee down, or curl those toes and come to a runner's lunge. A runner's lunge. On the inhale, we're going to move to a twisted low lunge from here. So reach that right hand up, inhale it up. Okay, back knee up or down. Just lengthen from your fingertips. Just create that nice long line. Okay, just visualize that long line. Keep that knee coming right towards our hearts. Okay. As we exhale, bring the hands down. Go ahead and glue that back heel onto the ground, and we're going to open up to Warrior Two. Open up to Warrior Two. I'm going to turn to the side so you can see that. So Warrior Two, my right foot is forward, my left foot's back, the whole foot's on the ground, and it's pointing straight to the side. So my feet are perpendicular from each other. Make sure that right knee is pointing right towards our toes. Good. We'll take a nice big inhale. And on our exhale, right forearm to the top of the right leg and left hand to the sky. We can even extend that right angle and bring that bicep to our ear, lengthening our body. And just trying to visualize a straight line from those fingertips down to your back heel. Okay, if you're jonesing for a little bit extra right here, just walk that hand into the inside part of your leg and either come down to the ground or use that block and lift that ground closer to your hand and just find the spot that works best for you. We're not trying to overdo it today. We're just trying to feel something, but not too much. On our next big inhale, reverse warrior, the legs stay right where they're at. And that front hand, that right hand reaches up toward the sky. That back hand rests on our leg, comes to our tailbone, or wraps completely around our waist. We can look up at those fingertips into the sky, or we can look back at that foot as it's pressing into the mat. Okay? All right. And now we're just going to flow through right angle and reverse warrior using our breath. So take a big inhale, and on our exhale, right angle and reach overhead. And on our next inhale, come back to reverse warrior and reach to the sky. Good. And just alternate between that. Riding on the exhale, let that breath drive the pace. Inhale and exhale. And inhale. That leg's probably feeling something right now. It's probably feeling something special. Am I right? Good. Couple more times. One more time, right angle. One more time, reverse. We'll meet back in warrior two. And then just bring those hands down, frame up that front foot, and step back to plank. We'll find child's pose yet again. Shake that right side out. I'm feeling something. I'm sure you are too. Okay, from child's pose. Take both hands and walk them over to the left corner of the mat. The left corner of the mat. Again, just reaching into our right side of our body through those ribs and hips. And then we'll walk those hands to center. And then over to the right side. The right side. So both hands at the right corner. Nice deep breath. Feel those ribs expand. And now with clearance on the left side, let's bring that left leg forward to the front of our mats and find runner's lunge, knee up or down, totally up to you. Okay, all right. From runner's lunge, nice deep lunge right here. We're going to take that left hand on our next inhale and just float it up to the sky. Just open our hearts up to that left side of the room and then float that hand up if it's comfortable. If not, just leave it behind you or on your hip. That left knee toward our heart a little bit. It wants to go out. Just don't let it go out. Just bring it in like you're scissoring your legs together. So feel the strength between those legs. Nice. And then we'll bring both hands down. We're going to glue that right foot on the ground and then open up to warrior two. Open up to warrior two. Okay? Very nice. So deep bend in that left knee. Arms to the front and back. I'm going to turn to this side so you can see that you stay facing me. Nice and long with those arms, but still relaxed through those elbows. Okay, we don't need to jam our arms into place. Maybe just a little bit of squeeze between those shoulder blades. That left knee still toward our toes, and preferably our pinky toes. And a nice long and strong leg on that right side. Take a nice big inhale and let's find a right angle pose. Left forearm to the top of the leg, back hand to the sky, or extend that right angle bicep to our ear. And just think about that long line from our fingertip to our heel on that right side. Reaching and just create that line. Again, if you're jonesing for more, come on down. Come on down. Okay, you can always just bend that knee a little bit more, but just make sure that knee's hovering above the ankle so we have that right support and right form. On our next inhale, lift that left hand up nice and high to the sky, reverse warrior. Of course, reverse warrior is all about reaching higher and not to the back of the room. Okay, so if we're doing one of these deals, okay, think about reaching higher. Back hand to the leg, to the tailbone, or wrapped around our waist. Whew. Create that length and breathe. Remember that breath. Take a nice big inhale, and we're going to flow through as we exhale to right angle pose. And inhale, back to reverse warrior. And exhale to right angle. And inhale to reverse. And you're flowing through this 3 more times, your pace. 3 more times, your pace. When we're done with this, when you've had enough of this, we'll come back to Warrior 2. Come back to Warrior 2. Whew, good. And then we'll cartwheel those arms around and down, step back to plank position. Step back to plank position and do a Vinyasa Flow. That's that half push-up, that's that plank to downward dog. It's whatever version of that Sun A that we did earlier, okay? So that half push-up to look up and then exhale to downward dog. Okay, staying in downward dog, staying in downward dog. I might have lost a couple of you there, so let's get back to downward dog. Okay, and we're gonna take that right foot, and we're gonna float it up toward the sky, 3-legged dog. Now in 3-legged dog, sometimes we lift that back heel up. We just wanna set that back heel down, just soften the arch. Okay, it doesn't need to touch the ground though. With that right foot, let's go and just gently bring it through towards the front of our mats. Okay, if that foot only comes halfway, just grab that foot and move it. Okay, that's all we gotta do. With that left foot, drop the heel down, and then come on up to Warrior 1 pose. Warrior 1 pose. Okay, I'm gonna just stay facing to the side, because I think you'll be able to see more if I stay in this direction right here. Good. So with Warrior 1, you're squaring up your hips towards whatever the front of the room is for you. Okay, right towards my voice. Right? You're feeling something off that left hip. Both feet are grounded heel to toes. And then our shoulders are relaxed. From here, we're going to move to Humble Warrior. Draw those hands behind your back and interlock those fingers. Okay? And then draw those hands past our tailbone. Just naturally drawing our shoulders back and down and away from our ears. If this is a challenge for you, just set your hands back there, okay? Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. And from Humble Warrior, we're going to breathe in and get nice and tall. And we're going to use our core to begin hinging forward. Keep the legs right where they're at. Hinge forward and bring our upper body to the inside of that right leg. Inside of that right leg, and then float our hands up and drop the crown of our head toward the ground when we're comfortable. Still just floating up and just marveling at what we're able to do with our bodies right now. The strength and the focus and the concentration to get into Humble Warrior is so great, and you are doing great. Very nicely done. Very nicely done. Good. We'll inhale, and we'll come right back to that Warrior 1 position. Okay, float those arms up, release those hands. And we're going to open up, take a nice exhale, and find Warrior 2. So just flattening that back foot, front leg stays right where it's at, and that foot points a little bit off to the side, just a little bit more, and those arms front and back. That front leg is barking a little bit, and it's going to continue to bark for a little bit more, so hang on. Okay? Keep that right hand pointing forward, take that left hand, bring it to your overhead, that bicep to our ear, and just reach both hands forward. Staying in that leg, I call this unsupported right angle pose. Now if you need the support, just set your hand down that forearm, just like we did right angle earlier. Whew. Okay. With our next big inhale, right hand up toward the sky, reverse warrior, and reach nice and high. We've been here before. We know what to do. Now let's give that front leg a little mercy. Lengthen that front leg, soft bend still in the knee, and bring those hands back to Warrior 2. Stand nice and tall, breathe in as much as you can, and then reach forward as far as you can. As you're reaching forward, the hips are going back. And so reach, reach, reach. When you can move no farther, then tip over. Then tip over. What that does is it lengthens our spine and allows us to move without risking any damage to our spine. Good. So we stack through those shoulders and then lift through our ribs and hips. Now I've got my hand on a leg above or below my knee. Okay, we can also use a block if you have that, or that couch cushion. And just visualize for yourself that your heart's lifting up a little bit more, that you're stacking through those shoulders and those ribs and lifting through those hips. Very nice. As we exhale, come back to Warrior 2. Let's cartwheel those hands around and down. Let's find plank position. Let's go through that Vinyasa Flow. Come on down. Inhale, lift our crown. Exhale, face back down. Downward facing dog. Inhale, left heel. Exhale, bring that left foot between the hands to the front of our mat. Glue that back foot down and find warrior one. I'm going to switch directions. You stay facing me. Good. Warrior one. Both heels to toes on the ground. Good. Relaxing those shoulders. Squaring up our shoulders and bringing our hips slightly forward. We feel a stretch now on that right side. Let's find humble warrior. Take those hands. Bring them behind our back. Interlock those fingers. Draw them down past our tailbone. Draw those shoulders back and down away from our ears. That lifts our heart a little higher. Breathe in, exhale, and bring our upper body to the inside of that left leg. Hands float up, crown of the head drops down. We feel a wonderful stretch up top, and we marvel at the strength of our legs and our core and our minds right here. Good. Nice big inhale and exhale. And then we'll come right back to warrior one. So just sweep up, use the strength of those legs to lift up. And then we'll take a nice inhale and then exhale and open up, warrior two. I just stepped that right foot back just a little bit or just out so it's perpendicular to that front foot. And just playing around with that front leg now. Still soft arms right here without just locking my elbows. I'm still feeling that dynamic tension of those arms in warrior two. Okay. Left hand continues to reach forward. Right hand comes above the head, bicep to the ear, and just reach both sets of fingertips forward. Again, that unsupported right angle. If you feel like you need the support, just drop the arm down. Okay, otherwise we're squeezing through the abs. We're supporting our body with our body. Breathe. Breathe. Whew. Good. On our next inhale, left hand up toward the sky. Reverse warrior. Back hand on the leg, on the hip, on the tailbone. Reach nice and high. Good. Front leg is barking at us. We've been on it a while. So it's time to give that front leg a little mercy. Lengthen that front leg. Still a soft bend in that knee. Arms back to warrior two. Lengthen that body. Breathe in as much as you can. And reach as far forward as you can as those hips go in the opposite direction. When you can go no further, we tip over. That's triangle pose. There we go. Breathe. Stack through those shoulders. Stack through those ribs. On the inhales, try to feel that right hip lifted a little higher up toward the sky. Breathe. Breathe. Exhale back, warrior two. Cartwheel those arms around and down. Let's go through another Vinyasa Flow. Your choice of Vinyasa Flow. It can be right from plank to down dog. Or inhale, rock forward. Exhale, come down. Inhale, lift our crown. Exhale, face back down. Downward facing dog. Okay. From here, right heel floats up toward the sky. Right foot comes through. Front of our mat, crescent pose. Which means our back heel stays up off the ground. Back heel stays up off the ground. Squaring up shoulders, squaring up hips to the front of the room. Arms up, shoulders rolled down and away from our ears. Squeeze through those glutes, arch a little bit in that lower back, and stay nice and tall in crescent pose. And it'll really help you reach in to that front hip. Okay. From crescent pose, we're going to use a little bit more of our core and still work on those front legs a little bit, asking them to be strong. So we're going to come to what's called flight position. So we're going to lean in, hinge through our hips, legs stay right where they're at, and just create a straight line from the crown of your head to that back heel and hold. And hold. Whew. There we go. Keep on breathing. Keep on breathing. We've got the strength and we can do this. From here, we're going to go to warrior three. And so with warrior three, we put all the weight of our body into that right foot and begin floating that left heel up off the ground. Now don't be so concerned with how high that foot is off the ground. We can keep our toes right there. We can even use the block with our hands on the front side to help us stabilize. But what we're trying to do is square up hips and shoulders toward the ground, squeeze through those glutes, make our body as long as we can, roll those shoulders back and down away from our ears so that we're in this posture with confidence. Hands can be forward, heart center, or back, but that's too late because we're done with this one. As we exhale, just gently set that left foot down about a half step. Both feet fully on the ground. fully on the ground, we're moving towards pyramid pose. So we breathe in nice and tall, and then we just exhale, hips and shoulders square to the front, square to our mat, hinge through those hips, soft bend in that right knee, come down nice and slow, let your body adjust as you come on down, and then when you find that spot that's just right, again, we're not trying to overdo it, trying to feel something but not too much, then we settle in, And when we find that spot to settle in, where that breath is still free flowing, where it feels just right on our bodies, drop the crown of your head, round through your spine, and relax. I'm going to turn towards you, stay right where you're at. We're going to add a twist here, twisted triangle. Both feet stays on the ground. Both feet stay on the ground. We're going to stabilize that left hand on the block or on the ground. Right hand lifts up toward the sky. You might feel your body shift into that right foot a little bit more. That's natural. The hips will stay square to the ground. That's just natural. There's nothing you have to do there. But open up your heart and shoulders to the right side of the room. That breath is still free flowing wherever you're at. Hand can be also at the hip. Exhale, both hands down. Saw a quote recently that said, when you want to come out of the pose is when the pose starts. That means we're really challenged. So let's step back to plank, Vinyasa Flow. Good. Inhale, rock forward. Exhale, come down. Inhale, lift up nice and high. Exhale, back to downward dog. Inhale, left heel to the sky. Exhale, bring it through, set it down, move it around, do what you gotta do. Crescent pose. Arms up, shoulders rolled down, hips and shoulders facing the front. Back heels up. Good. Yeah, it's a little bit extra balance challenge with that back heel up, but we're good for it. We're good for it. I'm going to turn to the side. You stay right where you're at. Okay. So from the side here, that flight position, asking our legs, asking our core to do a little more. Lean into it, arms back, shoulders rolled down and away from our ears, and hold that position. Use the strength and just feel grateful. Feel grateful. If you're not sure what to be grateful for, be grateful for your ability to move your body today. Be grateful for your ability to control your disposition with your breath. Good. That leg's barking, but it's time for warrior 3. So that right heel is going to start lifting off the ground. Weight of our body shifting into that left foot. Hips and shoulders staying square to the ground. Shoulders back and down. Glutes squeezing, lower back squeezing. Hands forward, heart center, or back. Warrior 3. Exhale, set that right foot down gently. About a half step, both feet on the ground. Breathe in nice and tall, hips and shoulders square. Exhale, hinge to the hips. Stay nice and long, crown of our head to our tailbone. As we come on down, crawl down that leg, whatever works for you, but we don't jam into this pose. We just let our bodies adapt and adjust. Pyramid pose. When you find that just right, drop the crown of your head round through your spine and breathe. I'm going to turn to the front, stay where you're at. Again, we're going to add that twist, twisted triangle. Right hand stays on the ground on the block, wherever you have it. Inhale, left hand up. Both feet stay on the ground, heels to toes, but you'll feel that shift into your front foot. Just a little bit more, that's fine. We're opening our heart up to the left side of the room, trying to stack through those shoulders. Those hips will stay right where they're at. Breathe. Nice free-flowing breath. Exhale. Both hands down. Inhale, both feet forward, step forward. And then just sweep up those hands nice and tall. And exhale to heart center. Whew. Rest those thumbs on your heart. Rest those thumbs on your heart. Feel your heart beating. Tree pose. Tree pose. Dig those toes into our mat just a little bit. Strong arches, strong feet, strong knees. Left leg turns, left toes turn. Externally rotate those hips. Good. Then set that foot either on the ground, toes on the ground, heel above the ankle, or that foot above or below our knee on the leg. Finding our balance, start at heart center. And we can grow some branches down our tree, or we can create steeple fingers at the top and create an evergreen. Maybe looking at a focal point. And then exhale and release on down. Same thing other side. Left foot digs into the mat just a little bit. That strengthens that arch and locks that left knee into place. Right knee and toes to the right side of the room, and find your tree pose on this side. Whatever you want to do with those hands is totally up to you. Find that calm. Find that peace. Smooth out the breath, smooth out our mind. The two are connected. Exhale and release. Good. Standing pigeon, great stretch and great balance. Okay, right foot digs in again, strong foot. And from here, we bring our left toes toward our shin. Open up our hips just a little bit and bring that left ankle above that right knee. Create a little figure four right there with those legs. Now if that's a challenge, just go below the legs or keep the toes on the ground. Okay, once we get this position, begin sitting on down. Sitting on down, bringing those hips, those tailbones just a little closer to the ground. Okay, and just find what's right for you. We're gonna feel that stretch into our glutes, into some of those deep muscles in our glutes, the outside of the leg, and the connection into our lower back. Now I've got a block here in front. So maybe if you want more of the stretch, you just put those fingers there. But if you want to combine the balance, you just hang out right here. Breathe. And on our next exhale, release. Same thing other side. Left foot on the ground. Right toes toward the shin. That locks that knee into place. And it's healthy for our body. Open up that hip, ankle above the knee, and sit down into this standing balanced pigeon. And breathe. It's a great stretch. It might feel different on this side than the other. Maybe it's looser, maybe it's tighter. Sometimes we have better balance. A lot of times we have better balance on our non-dominant side of our body. And so if you're falling all over the place, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. It's not what it's about. Exhale and release on down. Good. Let's go ahead and take a seated position. As we come down to the ground, we're going to have our right leg forward, left leg bent. Left leg bent. So again, creating that figure four position. Just take your time as you get here. Allow you just a little bit of time to get there. Hope you're feeling great today. Let's inhale up nice and tall. And just a single leg forward fold. Reach towards me as far as you can go. Reach forward as far as you can go. When you can go no further, then you just find that stability by grabbing onto the foot or ankle or shin, or just rest those hands beside the leg. And again, we're not trying to overdo it here. Okay, so don't jam into this pose. Don't try and be a hero and overstretch your leg. Okay, that's not what it's about. Okay, gentle. Be gentle with our bodies. Whew. Good. As we exhale and release out of this, we'll take that left ankle and just bring it across and above our right knee. Above our right knee. Okay, still keep those left toes toward the shins. Hands to the side now, and just begin walking or bending that right knee, walking that right foot in. Okay, so still keeping that figure four, but just walking that foot in. And this might be all you need in this stretch, and you might stay right here. You might stay right here. This is a good seated pigeon pose. Okay, we've done a standing pigeon pose. We're going to do a seated pigeon pose. And we're going to do one called Cradle the Baby. Cradle the Baby. So a Cradle the Baby, we're going to take our right arm, we're going to set the outer edge, that pinky toe side of our foot into the crease of our elbow. And then we're going to take our other elbow around the outside of our leg and lock those fingers. And just hang on to that leg, okay? And we can straighten that leg or bend that right leg beneath us. Now, if that's a challenge for you and you just want to hold the leg up there, that's fine. Remember, we can stay right in this position where we originated from. You don't have to do this at all. Once we get in Cradle Baby, sit tall. Sit tall. Breathe in. Feel that gentle stretch on the outside of our hips. Good. Now to set that baby down gently, rebend that knee, set the ankle onto that leg, and just release it on down. Let's keep that left leg bent right where it's at. We're going to move into half pigeons. A lot of pigeons today. A lot of pigeons in our coop today. Okay, so our left leg stays bent, and however we're able to do this, whatever's best for you, just walk that right leg all the way back so it's at a 6 o'clock position behind you. And as you get it there, shoelace side of that back foot, and you can stay nice and tall here, proud pigeon, or exhale down onto your elbows, or even use that block, and just rest your forehead down. Another nice option is to take that block or that pillow cushion or that couch cushion and just place it between that space between your left hip and the ground, just to make sure our hips stay square, and that we feel a nice gentle stretch. Now, if you don't love this at all, okay, if it's not feeling good on the knees, we can come onto our back and do a figure 4 onto our back and still feel that. Okay, let's jump on the knees. And just settle into this pigeon pose. We allow ourselves to breathe and feel a little bit more. If we're feeling a little extra today and we want some queen pigeon, we can lift back up the proud pigeon, put a bend into that right knee, and take that right hand and grab on to that top of our foot or ankle. And even try and bring that foot into the crease of our elbow. That's not happening with me today. So don't expect things out of me, okay? Create expectations. We're bound to get disappointed. So we free ourselves from expectations and just allow our bodies to move the way they're designed to move. This is the way mine's designed to move today. As we exhale. Good. Release on a queen pigeon. Okay. From normal pigeon, just sit off to the side. Letter S with our legs. Left hand on the ground. Shoulder over that hand and reach that right hand up toward the sky, lifting our hips up and pressing our hips to the opposite corner of the room, reaching straight up overhead toward the sky or overhead and beyond to get a little extra stretch to our core. Good. Stretch through those ribs and hips and that back quad of ours, that right quad. Exhale and hips down. Okay. We've got to do that same sequence all the way on the other side. So that left foot forward now. Right knee bent. Toes toward the shins. Inhale up nice and tall. Exhale and forward fold. Reach as far as you can. When you can reach no further, that's when we settle in. Okay? Either grabbing the foot, ankle, or shin. Rest those hands beside the leg. And just breathe. Again, not trying to jam into this pose and go beyond. Okay? Stay within, not beyond. Stay within. As we exhale and release, keep that left leg right where it's at. Take that right ankle, bring it above the left knee. Okay, toes still towards the shins on that right side. Hands to the side now, and put a bend in that knee foot on the floor. There we go, a seated pigeon. Nice. Now again, this might be all we need out of this. That might be all the hip opening we want, or we can move towards a Cradle the Baby. Left elbow now, set the pinky toe side or the blade of that foot into the elbow, and then wrap the other elbow to the outside of that knee. And then hang on to that leg and rock gently. Good, sit tall, sit tall. When we sit a lot, there's a reason for all the pigeons today. When we sit a lot, our hips tighten up. It's not just hips, it's lower back, it's hamstrings, it's maybe even some knee pain. They're all connected, folks. Okay. And then let's set this baby down gently. A little bend in those knees. And then release on down. Good. Now we keep that right leg across the mat where it's at. And however we're able to do this, let's get that left leg beyond and back. 6 o'clock, shoelace side of that foot. And then find and settle in to your pigeon pose. Your pigeon pose. I'm going to turn to the side just so y'all can see that a little bit differently. Okay. Now, hips also carry tightness, not only because we're sitting down a lot, but when we're stressed out or we're carrying anxiety. I don't know if you've ever noticed that. When you get really stressed out, all of a sudden you start feeling pains in your hips and into your lower back. It's all connected. So that's why there's a lot of hip opening going on today. Breathe through this. Get if you're jonesing for a little extra here. Queen pigeon. So put a bend in that left leg. Reach back, either with the hand or bring that foot into the crease of your elbow. And find half pigeon. Again, this is all I'm getting today. Just gotta listen to our bodies, self-care, compassion for ourselves, compassion for others. Good. As we exhale and come out of Queen Pigeon, as we exhale and come out of Normal Pigeon, create a little letter S with our legs. Right hand on the ground, left hand reaches up. Bring those hips on up and lift. Reach straight up or overhead. Great stretch again on the top of that left quad and through those hips, ribs, everything. Exhale and release on down. Good. So let's do about 1 or 2 more poses. Hope you don't mind if I'm going over. Okay. So as we get into this next one, I call this one my Travis twist. My Travis twist. Good. So we're going to bring, and we're just going to lay on our side. And so I'm laying on my right side here, on my right arm, and both knees and hips are stacked. So they're both pointing to the right side. Okay? And then I'm going to bring both hands together in prayer. In prayer, just lay down on that right side. And we'll take that top hand, that left hand, and just begin opening up. Just opening up, a little dynamic to begin with. Open up, lift our hearts to the sky, and then exhale right back. Our hands to heart center. All right, prayer. And then inhale and open back up and exhale and bring that hand back to prayer. Give me 2 more just like here. Just 2 more. And last one. And then this final one, as we open up, we're going to keep the arms opened up into those letter T arms. We're going to look at that left hand away from the direction our knees are going. And then if we need to, we take that right hand and move that top leg around. And we lengthen that right leg so that we have a straight line from our shoulders to our heels. I like getting into the stretch this way because it focuses on stacking those hips perpendicular to the ground. And as we're in this, just breathe in and try and exhale through those tight spaces. Let your body soften. Maybe try and bring both shoulders down. If there's space, that's okay. Okay, if that arm's just pointing up to the sky and that's as far as you're going today, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. That's where you're designed to go today. It's finding appreciation, finding gratitude for what we're able to do versus what we're unable to do. Let's come back. Right back to those prayer hands. And then we're going to flip over to the other side. So on our left side, just laying down, almost like a fetal position, okay? On my left shoulder, my hands, left hand's on the ground, both knees pointing to the left side. Bring those hands to prayer with that right hand. Inhale and open up and lift our heart up to the sky. Exhale and bring those hands back to prayer. Good. 3 more just like that. Inhale and exhale. And if you're like me, you're handling a little bit of Rice Krispies. A little bit of Rice Krispies. You're like, what? A little snap, crackle, and pop. A little snap, crackle, and pop into that lower back. Good. And then we're just going to stay open this next time. Open our heart, lift up our heart, try and get those shoulders on the ground, keep those knees right there. But if you want a little something different, take that left hand, grab onto that right leg and move it around, and then lengthen that left leg beneath you and look in the opposite direction that right leg's going. As we come back to center, just lay down on the ground. Remember, I mentioned 3 poses for managing anxiety, for managing stress. And this is the 3rd one. Okay, it's either supported legs up the wall, and I'll show a version on the wall in just a moment, or it's supported, or it's reclining goddess. So supported legs up the wall. If you have a block or a couch cushion, you lift up your hips and you set that block onto those hips and float those feet up and just let them float up. We're not trying to do anything with those legs, soft bend in the knees. Okay, you're welcome to stay right here. Another option is bringing those soles of our feet together and draping our knees out to the side like a butterfly pose. Or we're just laying down. This is called reclining goddess with a block underneath those hips. Or remove that block if you don't have one or don't want one. And let those knees just open up and just sit there and appreciate this. Okay, these are other poses to help us manage anxiety and stress. I shared 3 today. Face down, forward fold, and legs up the wall. Now stay right where you're at, and maybe peek out the side. I'm going to come over to my wall. Make sure you can still see me here. This is just an amazing pose. This is an amazing pose. So as I come up to my wall, I'm officially going to do legs up the wall because I have the wall now. You just scoot up your hips up to the side and then just sit your tailbone on that wall and your legs up. You want to feel something amazing? Just get into this and stay here for about 10 minutes. Now you're welcome to stay right in these positions. This is the final physical posture I'm going to move us into. But we do have Shavasana left. And I really want you to take this time to find Shavasana, to find our final relaxation. We're only going to do it for a couple minutes. And of course, I don't have any music playing, so we're going to sit in silence. If you have music playing, or if you have my playlist, go ahead and forward to the song Gravity. And that's the Shavasana song on playlist number 40. And if you don't have my playlist, just sit in silence with me. Let's find some stillness. Let's find some stillness today. So as we get into that final relaxation, we just sprawl out onto our mats. We release the tension through our hands and our feet. We let our eyelids drape across those eyes nice and gently. A little space between our teeth, relax our jaw. We abandon that deep breath. That breath we don't have to think about. We allow ourselves to just fully commit to being on our mats. Fully commit to sinking into that space that's beneath us, the mat or the floor. With stillness. Stillness is good for our body and good for our mind. So let's find this stillness for the next 2 minutes. And I've got a closing message I hope you'll stick around for. back with our breath. Just notice it. Inhale and exhale. And then deepen that inhale. Fill up those lungs and let the nice, refreshing, releasing exhale go. Let's do that a couple more times. And that breath will give us the energy to reawaken our minds and bodies, to reconnect back with our consciousness, so that we can begin moving ever so slightly by wiggling our toes and our fingers and circling our wrists and ankles. And as you find comfort, placing a bend in our knees and rolling to one side. We'll complete our journey today in a seated position with our eyes closed and hands at heart center. I'm so grateful for the opportunity to share this practice with you. It's always my pleasure to do so. I've got a closing message, and here it goes. Hope, hope. If we only carry one thing throughout our days, let it be hope. Let it be hope that better things are always ahead. Let it be hope that we can get through even the toughest of times. Let it be hope that we are stronger than any challenge that comes our way, especially together. And let it be hope that we're on this path together and we'll get through this together, stronger together in a strong community. Because during these times, hope will be the very thing that carries us through. I honor the love and light in you as it's also within me. Namaste.